Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra. I appreciate all of you that have come in. Click the like button. And if you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. This is going to be season 15. It is episode 1. It's my review, recap, slight rant, Hot Girl Summer. This is the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. As you can see, it is a pre-record, but I will be in the chat whenever I have a preview or pre-recorded video. I wasn't really looking forward to this season. The main thing I'm looking forward to, the main person, is Rachel Zoe. Rachel Zoe is no stranger to me. I have loved her since the Rachel Zoe Project. Years and years and years ago, she's one of the first Bravo celebrities that I ever heard of, but she's also a stylist extraordinaire. She has so many businesses out now, and she's a welcome addition to the season. The reason I wasn't looking forward to it is, as we know, Garcelle Bouvet left during the reunion and never went back. And the ladies kind of see that they need to spend this, but because the audience of the Bravo audience is just, we're smart. We know what we're looking at, and we know that they're trying to spend it. So I'm a little cynical. So we start out, we have the Beverly Hills lady, we get the beautiful scenery. We have Sutton on a horse. Go ahead, Sutton. Sutton likes to remind everybody how rich she is. I'm here for it. It's Beverly Hills. Erica is washing a car in heels, washing her Porsche in some high heels. So this is a very staged scene. I don't think Erica washes her own car. I'm sorry, Erica Jane. It was kind of forced, trying to be a sex kitten, trying to be sexy, a little ridiculous. We see Dorit shopping on Rodeo Drive, a lot of luxury bags in hand. Bose is working. She is doing an ad. We don't know the product, but she's doing an ad shoot. Kyle is driving. She's calling Alexia. She has Alexia saved in her phone as something like, Alexia, my sweet baby, or something like that. You know how Kyle is, over the top with her daughters. But we'll allow it because it's Kyle's daughters. I always love them. Bose and her daughter are hosting Dorit for lunch. Dorit walks up to the house. Her hands are full. Bose says, you come in, you're bearing gifts. What is this? And Dorit says, I've seen you time and again, but I didn't have your birthday gift, and now I do. So Bose says, oh my goodness, this is so nice. It's an Hermes $2,000 throw. They helpfully put the price on the bottom of the screen for us. So that was nice to read. Bose in a confessional says, oh, we have become so close. Dorit leaves me 17-minute voice notes. No, ma'am. Dorit, I couldn't talk to you. You'd have to catch me on the phone where I can actually cut you off, but we're not doing 17-minute voice notes, okay? That's not friendly. So they immediately start discussing PK, kissing a lady on the street. Production helpfully shows us that there was a very tense game that she had to go to for her son Jagger's baseball game, and Dorit says, I was so disgusted that I couldn't even look at him during the game. So she made sure she's photographed not looking at PK during the game. So of course that's in the news. The Beverly Hills housewives claim they hate paparazzi, but at the same time, you can tell they kind of love it. So she's complaining to Bose. Bose is asking a bunch of questions. Are the kids okay? Do the kids know? Dorit's saying, I only speak positively to him, but he's the master of his own disaster. Good one, Dorit. PK has asked for joint custody, but he doesn't have the lifestyle to keep the kids. That's Dorit. Y'all know how she do. So then we get Kyle message. Oh, she says, I messaged Kyle, and 4 days later she responded, and this was big news. Dorit, was that really big news? We knew you and PK were having problems. I don't know that the audience cares that much, honestly. Dorit doesn't have a lot going for her in my mind. I don't see what she's bringing, but it's episode 1 of season 15. We'll see. So then Bose is hyping it up. 4 days. Kyle took 4 days to answer you. Bose is going to get on my nerves about this. This is only her second season. So this being her sophomore season, and I didn't review last season because I wasn't reviewing this show. Bose does not have my cloak of immunity, and I wouldn't give it to her if she needed it. I don't care for Bose too much, y'all. You will see that Bose does a lot, and I think a lot of it is contrived. I identify something in her that I'm going to have to see if I'm right, but I think I'm right. So she says, that's the time to support you and show you that you needed her, because Kyle and Dorit have had a tough last year and a tough reunion, And so Bo's is trying to put on that she's Dorit's new best friend. So they were discussing Kyle because after the reunion, they were supposedly everything was okay again. But now it looks like things are not okay again. We know Kyle can give us a different reaction at the reunion than she does in real life. So we get another scene with Kyle. She's in the kitchen with Sophia. The girls want egg salad. Kyle is fussing, but not really fussing. You girls are getting big enough to kind of cook for yourselves. Kyle, that's not really cooking. Make these ladies a sandwich. So Mauricio, we find out that he has upgraded from his bachelor pad into a house. Portia goes over there and spends a few nights a week. Sophia, not so much. Sophia is a little angry at Mauricio due to the divorce and Mauricio's behavior during and after. Kyle has gotten a pass because we know Kyle was dating Morgan, but I guess maybe she wasn't as out front with it. I could see what was going on, but I guess because she didn't actually admit it to the girls, they're not as upset. So Alexia got engaged. She is planning a wedding. She has known her fiance Jake since the 3rd grade. Y'all, I find this so cute. Kyle is in a confessional. She's saying, of course, that is what you would want for your daughter. It is. That's what you would want for anyone. So they pull out wedding pictures of Kyle and Mauricio. Mauricio was 25 years old. Kyle saying, he was the same age that you are now, Sophia. So they get a little nostalgic about it. You look so young. Now the girls are fussing about Mauricio being seen in public with different women. Production asked Kyle, how does she feel? Kyle saying, I'm a little desensitized to it because it's been going on for so long. Sophia says she tells her friends, excuse me, my dad's being a hoe right now. Kyle's laughing, y'all. Kyle loves this. So Portia is the youngest, and Kyle says sometimes Portia breaks down a little bit, at the breakup of the marriage and the family and then moving out. Portia we met at 2 years old, and she's 17 now, y'all. So production gives us a flashback of Mauricio and Kyle talking to her about what's going on. They'll be living in different homes, and Portia breaking down. So that was kind of sad. All of them have something to say. Kyle says that her daughters are alphas. Kyle, I don't know if girls can be alphas, but Sophia is the main one. Sophia's not playing. She said, don't make us check you. She's talking about Mauricio. And Kyle busts out laughing. Next, we get Rachel Zoe. Rachel Zoe is walking up to her house. She says, I'm either in 9-inch heels or barefoot. Y'all, excuse me, but I didn't know that they had 9-inch heels. Okay, I thought a 6-inch heel was doing something. Rachel Zoe, you can have it. Rachel Zoe's Gen X. She's still able to do it, so let her do it. So we flash back to her. She's saying, in my real life, I know Kathy Hilton. She used to style Nikki. They're showing us pictures of that. I've always known her as a stylist. To the stars, to music people, I think she named Britney Spears, the Backstreet Boys, of course, Nikki Hilton, Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie, all of the names that were names during the time when she was doing that. She received her first styling gig from Tommy Hilfiger. So that all fits in with the 90s, the whole Gen X, when people they first started getting stylists and things like that. Rachel Zoe would probably be the first stylist name that I knew of. Also, Misa Hilton, who used to be with the Bad Boys family. Also, Sean Combs' first child. So certain stylist names, when stylists started to get a name, Rachel Zoe was one of the ones you would know who she was. So then we find out that Rachel is going through a divorce from Roger. I was sorry to hear that. Roger was also on the Rachel Zoe project. He was her partner in her business. He took care of a lot of the business related stuff so she could focus on her creative. And they had 2 boys. They were married for 18 years before they had children. So I do remember that being a point of kind of contention on the show. Roger wanted sons. Rachel could have just lived her jet-free life as long as she wanted to. So Kai's in France for 2 weeks. That's one of the sons. The other one's going to be at sleepaway camp. Roger is going to keep them for 3 days. So they were married for 26 years, even though they were together for 33. So that was very, very young, early 20s. So she said the kids changed things. She said, but I have always been St. Bart's and he's always been the Grateful Dead, which what I remember of Rachel and Roger together, they were always a great balance. So this is kind of hard for Rachel because I'm sure she lost her best friend too when they divorced. So she's going to Kathy Hilton's house. Kathy says, I'll be glad to be there for you. Kathy Hilton looks good. She's going to a wedding, I think she said in France, and it's going to be black tie formal. So I'm sure if Kathy Hilton gets invited to a lot of things like that. And then we get Erica Jane. She had a pride show with Kesha. She's excited. Erica is saying, we're going to meet with Sutton today. They look around. Kyle's driving, so she wants to know who else, everybody that's going to be there. Reba, who is Sutton's mother, is going to be there. We don't care for Reba, y'all. Reba was extremely rude to Garcelle, and I think they have a little bit of that Texas sun. The sun makes certain people neck red. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about it, but I see that in Sutton. I saw it in Reba, but we're going to get to see Reba and Sutton again. So they are joking that they left the gift on the table at Kyle's house. Kyle's like, I told you to pick it up. They forgot it. Erica said, let's get there quickly. Take the main road. So it's kind of a dig. We get a flashback to Dorit saying, you don't even live on a main road. Kind of trying to drag Sutton's house. Dorit can be very elitist for somebody who allegedly, her and PK are always getting foreclosed on, allegedly, or in pre-foreclosure. I think that's going on right now. So what the heck? Sutton lives on a main road. Her bills are paid. So we flash back to Sutton having various hard times with the group. They show us where she goes, what do you want from me? Remember, Garcelle used to always jump in and defend Sutton. I think one trip they finally had, Garcelle just sat back and let Sutton have at it because Sutton never returned the favor and ever defended Garcelle. We find out when we get to the house, Sutton has let go of Avi. Avi was her long-term assistant. He was with her even back when she was married. So Kyle asks, well, what happened? Sutton says, well, there's communication is the biggest part of that job, and we were no longer communicating. Erica and Kyle are kind of not believing what Sutton's telling them. Reba says, Reba's the mom. She's sitting there. She said, well, it's not like Ivy was ever at a loss for words. So Reba's kind of rejecting what Sutton is telling ladies about why Ivy's no longer there. Reba talked to Ivy like a dog too. So it's not really clear what happened between Sutton and Ivy, other than, to me, Sutton not knowing how to treat people. But Sutton hasn't realized it yet. And I think, y'all, this is her season, especially without Garcelle. The other ladies are going to let her know exactly where she stands. And money notwithstanding, I think it's kind of the bottom of the totem pole. I think they see her as clear trash. And I hate to say that. I don't see her as that, but I think that Kyle and Dorit and Erica and the other ladies of Beverly Hills, they call her PWT. I'm sorry. So we get another storyline. We find out from Sutton that her husband applied for and received an annulment. Now, she was married to this man for 2 decades, and they have children. I think this is something that the Catholic Church receives money for, because I remember years ago, Rudolph Giuliani, when he was mayor of New York, this man applied for and received an annulment from his first wife. So next we get Rachel and Kai. Kai is one of the sons. They're just talking. She's in the kitchen kind of puttering around. Do you like girls yet? He said, my hormones haven't really kicked in yet. He's a funny kid. So she's asking him how things going with Roger. Well, I'll go to his house. I'll spend the night with him, but I want to see you in the morning. She said, of course. So they had a really cute conversation. We get Bose and Erica. They meet for dinner. Bose, y'all. Bose gonna get on my nerves. I see you, boo, with your little chesticles out. Bose was doing this thing at BravoCon too, where she was just sister girl and over the top and all this kind of stuff. And the ladies are still kind of tiptoeing around her because they had a lot of microaggressions toward Garcelle. If Garcelle said one thing, then she's being aggressive. She's being hard to get along with, just all these little microaggressions. They are going over the top not to show that side to Bose. So Bose is actually, it's not her turn this season, it's Sutton's. But I cannot wait for Bose to get a taste of the medicine that Garcelle was given. So Erica is discussing her sold out show. She's excited about that. Mighty Hoopla. It's the best show I've ever given. I was backstage hearing them call my name, and then my phone started to blow up, and it was news about Tom. He was being sentenced. His eyes were vacant, and I didn't know whether I want to see him or not. Erica's a trip. She says, I'm married to someone who's going to jail. We get a confessional from her. She says, well, Tom's story is ending. Erica, you knew that man was 3 or 4 decades older than you when you married him. I didn't like when she said this, and I can't stand Tom Girardi. He's been convicted of fraud, defrauding people in a plane crash, defrauding the victims of their money. Terrible. So I don't feel sorry for him, but I don't like the way Erica's talking. Tom's story is ending here. My story, there's still parts to the beginning. Erica, you're no spring chicken either. Erica gets on my nerves, y'all. I like her when she's funny, but Erica can be mean, and she's got the rest of the ladies scared of her. And I never forgave her for cursing out Jax that time. Jax is one of Garcelle's sons, and the group didn't stand up for Garcelle when that happened either. And I felt like Garcelle should have quit then. I would have. So Bose is speaking about rumors. What's going on with you? Erica said there's a little flirting, nothing worth reporting. So in a confessional, Erica says, the record is, don't worry about it. So now I guess it's okay not to speak about your love life. Okay. So Sutton says, again, we go back to the scene with Sutton, and she's talking about what happened with her and Avi, but not really. We are back at the scene with Erica and Bose is saying Sutton is having a lot of her close relationships disintegrate. So, wow. She said there's a lot of vitriol that Sutton can express when she's around the group, but then when she shows up to the reunion, she's quiet as a mouse. So now they've already started this little drip, drip, drip on Sutton's, and Sutton has nobody to protect her. So I'm kind of happy about that. I'm glad Garcelle picked up and left. So they show Sutton of a clip that's supposed to be of her being extra mean to the ladies. Now, she was defending herself a lot, but I guess they figured she goes below the belt when she did that. The clip they showed, of course, is with her telling Dorit, you're not bigger than me. And then she says, my wallet is. That's what Sutton said to Dorit. So they're saying at the reunion, she's a church mouse. This is true. Erica says, it's time for her to be consistent and to see what she does. Consistency is going to be a theme that they're going to throw at Sutton. And they said she has few friends in this group. Now, Bose, you just got here. So how are you going to try to isolate somebody else? See, this is what I'm talking about with Bose. Bose says, well, she lists a few friends, and I just want to say, will the real Slim Sutton please stand up? Erica has the nerve to say, well, I wouldn't call it slim. Wow. And Bose just laughs. Oh, no, you didn't. Bose, you're the biggest one. I don't know what you're talking about. She's laughing. And then Erica said, well, it'd be more of a square. I don't think Sutton's square. I didn't really care for that. So we'll see. Sutton is the obvious target. So that has been made clear in the first couple of scenes. We have Sutton call Kyle while she's getting ready for a dinner party. Kyle's going to have one of those outdoor parties at her house. And she says that things are kind of awkward between her and Dorit, but Sutton, none of them, they're not going to get in the middle of each other. So that's basically saying Kyle's not going to be in the middle of none of this mess. They're supposed to wear sundresses or something. I don't know that they had a dress code. But when Erica shows up, she says, don't judge me. I don't have a sundress. But she looked cute. She had on some flowy pajama-looking style pantsuit. There's a new lady that walked up looking like Dorit from a distance. And she is with the morally corrupt Faye Resnick. Y'all remember when Camille Grammer called that lady that? She said she apologized later. Morally corrupt Faye Resnick. Because Faye was somehow involved in the whole O.J. Simpson murder trial. And I think she had some type of Playboy background. That doesn't make the lady morally corrupt, but that's what Camille Grammer said when they argued. So that was a really funny insult. We have Bose and Kelly. They are riding to Keely. She says her boyfriend's name Keely. Bose and Keely. They have Aunt Amma and also Leah. She got the whole family with her coming to Kyle's. Kyle greets her. Oh my gosh, I've forgotten how tall you were. So she calling you a big black Amazon, Bose. This is just going to be so interesting when these ladies turn on her. So Kyle said, I'm looking forward to getting to know you better. Now, Boz has had a couple of confessionals where she's a little shady. We get a confessional with her now, and she says, I'm looking forward to knowing Kyle. If Kyle reaches out and opens up, then we can be friends. If not, then we'll be acquaintances. Bose, I don't know that Kyle cares. Kyle doesn't add a lot of new people to her life. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen with this. Dorit asks, well, who is coming? Sutton says, oh, I'm sorry, I had the note wrong there. But Dorit wants to know who's coming. They start naming who's coming. Rachel Zoe is going to be there. Everybody's kind of looking forward to meeting her. So Kyle has this beautiful, they start to show around the party, spread, all the accoutrements, everything. Rachel Zoe, as they're sitting down, she says she's kind of dating again. She's getting out there a little bit. She's asking Kyle a little bit about herself. Kyle is not ready yet. She's in the house with her pajamas on. Rachel Zoe's like, you need to go out about 3 times a week. She said, a funny thing that happened, I went out and somebody tried to introduce me to Mauricio. And I said, no, that's Kyle's husband. So I thought that was funny. They said that Beverly Hills and dating in and around there is very small. Bose pipes up and said, is there anybody in Beverly Hills Mauricio hasn't tried to get with? Bose does a little too much with these husbands. She doesn't know Kyle to actually talk about Mauricio like that. And Kyle's one of those, she can talk about him, but she doesn't want everybody else doing that. And Bose did something similar at BravoCon. I was ready to roll up. I'll fight a man. I was ready to fight Mauricio. So Bose does a lot and she oversteps. So I think Kyle is not going to like this if she keeps doing that. So Bose asks, well, what's up with Sutton? You're an empty nester? That's another thing she does. I guess it's from her corporate background. She asks a lot of questions of people, and she'll also put information out there. Meanwhile, she's not sharing all this stuff about herself. What about Keely? What does he do? How'd you meet him? More information on that. So Sutton claims the last time she saw Garcelle, she was walking out on all of them. Y'all, they spent most of this dinner talking about Garcelle, and it's not true. Kyle wanted to know, well, did she call you after that? Sutton's like, no, she didn't call me after that. So they all claim they don't know what's going on. Dorit has the nerve to say, well, do you think that your friendship was a real friendship, or could it have been more of an alliance? Now, remember Dorit being part of the Fox Force 5 or whatever that foolishness was, where they would ice out people. That's how she operates. But she's going to try to put it on Garcelle and Sutton. Sutton, I'll give Sutton this. She said, no, it wasn't an alliance. We were real friends. And I do think that Sutton misses Garcelle's real friendship. And I think she is hurt over it. But I don't blame Garcelle for pushing these ladies out of her life. She's no friends. So Sutton has been doing this. She told a lie at BravoCon. Well, one thing I'm glad about is that now I'm getting to know the ladies. I couldn't really do that with Garcelle there. And I'm like, you were there before Garcelle was there. How did Garcelle keep you from getting to know these ladies? Other than they don't want to get to know her. I'm telling you, they don't like Sutton. There's a country song called White Trash with Money. I think that's how they view Sutton, y'all. It's not right, but that is how they view her, especially with that mother. So Bose is lying. Garcelle is mad that I didn't have her back, and I don't know why. I don't know that Garcelle's mad that Bose didn't have her back. I think Garcelle just decided to just step back, let them have it. Bose is one of these Black women, in my opinion and in my experience, that is so glad to be the only one. But when it's her turn, after they get through with Sutton, because Sutton's an outsider as well, when they get through with Sutton, they're going to come at Bose. And everything that she brags about and all this kind of stuff and giving them all these elaborate gifts, it's not going to mean a thing, because Kyle and Dorit and people like that, they don't really accept outsiders. And I don't care what Bose says, you're an outsider, baby. You're an outsider. So I'm going to keep watching until it's her turn. Rachel and Kathy Hilton, they showed up together. Kathy Hilton has a pair of jeans. Look at these rag and bones. She pulls these jeans out of her bag. Rachel's like, who pulls a pair of jeans out of their bag? Kathy does. She said, I brought them there for Kyle. So Kathy's being her little quirky self. Now, Bose, of course, claims she knows Rachel Zoe. Yeah, I went on her podcast, and I just love her. This, that, and the other. Always doing too much. So Rachel is telling the group what's going on with her and Roger. They've been separated for a year. They're going through the divorce. And Bose, again, jumps in and she says, Rachel's in such a great place. Now, remember, they just met during the podcast. They're not friends. Rachel's in such a great place with her divorce, the process of it. She'd be a good person for you to talk to, Dorit. So they're asking Dorit, how is it going? Do the kids know? Dorit start talking. well, they kind of know, but they don't really know. It's confusing whether they know or not. So Jagger and Phoenix both know, and Kyle saying, so you saying that they both know? Well, I mean, we have talked about it, but so we really don't know whether or not Jagger and Phoenix actually know that PK and Dorit are getting a divorce. Because remember, PK travels for his job a lot. He's rarely home. He doesn't really get to make the kids' events and things like that. So Dorit thought she would keep it from them like that. We don't know whether or not that's still the case. So they're talking about the husband's partying. Mauricio is like a kindergarten level partier, and PK is an expert. He's on his college level. So PK's been in the streets a long time, y'all. At least Dorit, I don't want to call her Dorito. People call her Dorito. At least Dorit is mentioning it. So they were asking her, how does it feel to watch your husband kiss other women? She said she's not used to it. Again, Kyle was desensitized to it. Kyle, please. Mauricio had to watch you kiss other women. Weren't you in Morgan's video? So Rachel, again, she had advised Kyle, get out 3 times a week. We're going to have a hot girl summer. Now, this is Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but Sutton's divorced. We've got Kyle going through a divorce, Rachel going through a divorce, Dorit going through a divorce. Bose is not even married. She and Keely are engaged, I guess. So we'll see what happens with that. So a hot girl summer, we'll let them have that. Earlier, y'all, they were asking Kyle whether or not she was still drinking champagne or is she non-alcoholic. Kyle's talking about, I can have an alcoholic drink. Don't get it twisted. So it's so funny how they pick up phrases after we've stopped saying it years later. But this was an okay episode, but Garcelle was missed, y'all. Garcelle was kind of missed because they ended up talking about her the whole last scene and actually throughout the episode. So I don't know. We're going to see what's going to happen. I'm waiting for the new lady to come on. I can't remember her name. Amanda, something like that. She wasn't at BravoCon though. Bose dropped a couple of things about that lady. I don't think that they really like this lady. I think she's an ex-wife of Simon Cowell, something like that. There's some kind of connection that she has. She's a life coach or something. Oh, one of the questions they were asking, well, who was most intimidated by Rachel Zoe and who was the most influenced? Both ended up being this lady who they said when she would come in, they would be like, she's dressed exactly like Rachel Zoe. Rachel luckily found the whole thing really funny. So there is another new lady. I guess she's coming on as friend of. But Rachel, she's a great addition, especially with losing Garcelle. So this was just okay. I guess I'll give it maybe a 7 because they kept talking about somebody that wasn't there. So what's going on more in your life, Erica? We didn't hear a lot. Bose has a lot going on in her life. So it just depends on what she wants to share. Kyle, as always, a lot of people don't like Kyle, but I can take Kyle, especially as it relates to Kathy. We get Kathy Hilton. I guess Jennifer Tilly's still here as friend of. She was at BravoCon. And then Kim Richards. Kim Richards has a hard time with this show, but I miss Kim when she's not here. Because Kim Richards, she is a trip. She keeps the party going. But for her own health, however she wants to come or go. But again, I'll give this episode a 7. This was pre-recorded, so I am down in the chat. Thank you for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra. I'm going to stick through with the season no matter what's going on. But again, I'm kind of meh about the season because Garcelle, of course, was my favorite. But thank you for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra, and I will see you in the YouTube streets. Thank you. Bye, everybody.